Hello Muggles and welcome back to my Harry Potter kitchen, the YouTube series where I am baking my way through the Harry Potter books, making a recipe for all the magical food and drink featured inside. If you missed last week's recipe as part of our Great Hall Feast where we made sticky barbecue pork chops with a homemade barbecue sauce, then check out the link down below in the description to catch up. But it is a Magic Monday, so let's see what's in store for us next. Feeling hungry? Well, if like me, you love all things Harry Potter and you don't want to miss a thing from my Harry Potter kitchen, then make sure you hit that subscribe button and click on the notification bell so you get an alert every week when there is a brand new recipe. Speaking of which, the feast is still underway, so let's get back to it. Okay, so we don't have to look very far for our next recipe, so let's see what it is. He had never seen so many things he'd like to eat on one table. Roast beef, roast chicken, pork chops, and lamb chops. We're going back to the chops, but let's do something a little different. For this recipe, you will need some good quality lamb chops, which we're going to marinate with 2 tablespoons of olive oil, salt and pepper, 1 teaspoon of garlic granules, half a teaspoon of oregano, rosemary, thyme, 5 mint leaves, and half a lemon. We're also going to make a fresh mint sauce, so you'll also need half a cup of fresh mint, 2 cloves of garlic, half a lemon, 1 tablespoon of caster sugar, and 3 tablespoons of white wine vinegar. Now, lamb is probably up there as one of my all-time favourite meats, but I do appreciate if you're not a massive meat lover, sometimes it can be quite heavy as part of your main meal. So for this recipe, it's going to be quite light and refreshing. We're going to serve it with a very zesty marinade, and we're also going to make a fresh mint sauce, which will cut through and cleanse your palate. It is really simple to prepare our zesty marinade. All we're going to do is add our ingredients into a bowl. So that's our olive oil, which we're going to season with salt, pepper, garlic granules, oregano, rosemary, and thyme. We're then going to take our mint leaves and roughly tear them into our bowl and squeeze over our half a lemon. Whisk this through until it's nice and combined. Now, depending on your butchers, your lamb chops might come on the bone or boneless. It is completely up to you, and I think you should just tweak it depending on how you're going to serve them. If they're boneless, then it is a lot easier to serve and to eat, but if you keep them on the bone, you are going to have a lot more flavour in there while it cooks. All you need to do is dip your lamb chops into your marinade, make sure you get a nice coating on either side, and then pop them into a dish. Repeat this until you've coated all of your lamb chops, and if you've got any marinade left over, drizzle it on top. We're then going to cover it in cling film, wrap it tightly, and then pop it into the fridge to marinate for at least 4 hours. Now, as I mentioned before, we're going to serve our lamb chops with a fresh mint sauce, and as you might have guessed from the name, it is packed full of mint, but we're also going to add in some lemon juice and white wine vinegar. This is going to give it a nice light zesty tang to cut through the flavours of the meat, and this is definitely one of those sauces that you want to make on the day, as if you do it too far in advance, your mint leaves are going to start to go brown and it's not going to be as appealing to serve. Making your mint sauce is really easy. First, we're going to extract the flavours from our mint leaves, and to do this, we're just going to roughly tear them into a jug and then add in about 75 millilitres of boiling water. Give this a stir until all your mint leaves are submerged and then leave it to cool. While this is infusing, you can prepare your garlic by pressing it through a garlic crusher. Now, you can just stir all of your ingredients together by hand, but if you want a bit more of a smoother consistency, you can pop them into a food processor. I'm adding in our fresh mint with all of the water, our garlic, our lemon juice, our caster sugar, and our white wine vinegar. Pop your lid on top and blitz that through for about 10 seconds. Once you've got it to your desired consistency, all you need to do is add it into your serving dish. If you're not serving it straight away, then I recommend popping some cling film on the top just to stop those mint leaves going brown. Now, these lamb chops taste amazing when they are freshly barbecued, but I do appreciate that the weather doesn't always permit them, so they taste just as good if you fry or grill them at home. Of course, you can do this to your preference, whether you want them medium or well done. All you need to remember is to fry them on each side for 1 minute, and then fry them again on each side for either 2 minutes for medium or 4 minutes for well done. So it's the 1, 2, 4 numbers you need to remember. 1 minute either side, 2 minutes for medium, or 4 minutes for well done. To fry them, all we're going to do is place our frying pan on a medium heat and then drizzle in some olive oil. Once that comes up to temperature, pop your lamb chops in and you should see them start to sizzle straight away. Allow them to fry and brown for 1 minute, flip them over and then give them another minute. This is the part where you tweak the recipe depending on your taste or the taste of your guests, so give them another 2 or 4 minutes on each side. Once they're good to go, remove them from the frying pan and let them rest for a couple of minutes before serving. And we're done. These light and zesty lamb chops are good to go. So stack them up high and invite your guests to chomp on these chops. So there you go, another great haul feast recipe under our belt. Your trousers feeling a little bit tight? Well, we've got plenty more to come. So if you don't want to miss a thing, make sure you hit that subscribe button and click on the notification bell so you get an alert every week when there is a brand new video. That is all for now, but I will see you next Monday.